on the street because we are coming up with street to street project that is going to be a blessing to many lives. What we want to do on the street to street project is to ensure that we ask people questions about self-development, self-discovery, to know if people really know who they are, and to know if people are just going to school to learn. But no, one of the major aim is just to ensure that people get clarity about themselves. Thank you so much for joining this YouTube channel, and also please ensure that you follow every of our movements, and also ensure you contribute to this campaign because it's going to help life, transform life, and it's going to bring joy to many lives. And also please subscribe to this YouTube channel and ensure you are our number one subscriber. Love you guys. God bless you. Hello, Mr. Obina. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this live podcast called the Balance Chat Podcast. Today we are going to be looking at some exciting. We're going to look at some. We're going to be looking at an exciting topic on small business strategies, maximizing impact on limited budget. But before we dive into this particular topic properly, I would love to hear from you to know where you're watching from and also know your name. Please, I'd love you to share your name with share this information with us. Let's know you properly. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, just like what I said, today we are going to be focusing on small business strategies, maximizing impact on a limited budget. Actually, we choose this topic because I got to find out that small businesses actually aren't making much progress the way they are supposed to make, in sense of when it comes to their marketing, the operational, the finance, and sales. And that is why I came up with this. And with Sir Obina, who happens to be our special guest tonight, we are is going to be throwing more going to be giving us insight on this aspect and how we can actually progress as a small business owner. Permit me to introduce the person of Mr. Obina Innocent. Mr. Obina Innocent is actually a financial expert and also a business coach. We are opportune to have him tonight, and I believe going to be value fed. So, um, Mr. Obina, are you with us, sir?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi,
I can. Thank you so much, sir. Hi, sir.
you're welcome.
Good to have you. Yeah,
Same
I'd
to
love
you
to
as
hear
well.
from you first. If there is something you'd love to share with us before we proceed.
Oh, okay. So thank you so very much, Mr. Wisdom, for this platform and for the privilege to be on this podcast talk. I really appreciate and I do not take it for granted. And just want to appreciate the work
Thank
you're
you.
doing. I really want to see the impact you're doing in the community, and I'm just quite impressed that we have young minds like you who are doing things to really empower the people and to get them to become a better version of themselves. So I just want to use this opportunity to say well done and then keep up the good work that you've started so far. Okay, well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I believe that tonight you are going to feed us with so much knowledge because I can actually know feel that. I can actually feel that. So tonight, I'll first of all like to start this podcast by asking you this question. I believe many of us here they need to actually have full knowledge of what business is, right? So I'd love to ask, what is business? I would love you to throw more light on that and help us to understand what business is, and so we can actually change our mind and renew our mind different from what we already know what business is all about.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom, for the question. So let me start with a quick introduction about myself before I attend to your question. For those of you who are meeting me for the very first time, my name is Innocent Obina, and I'm a Nigerian, and I studied accounting, and I'm also an accountant too by profession. So I have 5 to 6 years working experience in that field, and but besides accounting, I have always had passion for creating positive impact in the lives of people and in society at large. And recently, that passion has led to the establishment of my learning academy called the Knowledge Hub, which aim is to literally help to empower people with the right information and knowledge that could help them become a better version of themselves, literally. And so I've done a lot of trainings, a lot of programs for people in terms of business, in terms of finances, in terms of personal development, and just to attend to the question of
Mm,
Mr. Wisdom, so we're talking about business tonight, right? The topic is on the small business strategies and how we can maximize impact on a limited budget. So let me just be very basic with the definition of business. You know, business is simply an organization or an enterprising entity that is involved in terms of commercial, professional, and activity services, literally. And for me, in the simple term, I would just say business is anything that you do that brings money to you in a layman time. Let me just be very specific like that. So let me just be very basic. So in a layman term, when we talk about business, it's literally anything that you do that brings money to you. So when you're involved in a services or you're involved in an activity and that thing brings you money, you're already in business, literally. So that's what business in summary is for me is literally all about. And once we get that idea, it literally means that every one of us is a business person. Yeah. Thank you so very much.
awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that clarification. I believe you've done justice to that. We getting to understand what business is properly before we venture into business. Many people actually thought that business is just about going into that just for profits orientation and profit earning rather. That's why I actually asked this question so you can actually throw more light on that. And I'm so happy you were able to do justice to that. So, question is, what are the factors to consider about business? What are the factors to consider about business? Can you just help us, solve this puzzle by telling us what
Yeah.
factors we need to consider, about business?
Okay. Thank you very
Over
much.
to you,
I'm
sir.
always very excited. Yeah. I hope you can hear me clearly, right? Just want to confirm that before I go ahead. Can you hear me clearly? Just
Yes,
want to
sir.
confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, just needed to confirm that. All right. So when it comes to the issue of business, I'm always very super excited to share my knowledge on that because a lot of people have a lot of misunderstanding on how businesses should operate and what they need to do to get out of to get the best out of their businesses, literally. So for me, these before I even talk about business or going into business, this is are the key factors I want people to really take note of if they're going to really go into business and if they want to get the best out of it. And this is very important for every one of you who is listening right now. Two major factors I'm going to tell you to consider if you're going to go
mm,
into business, if you want to really get success out of that business, one thing I want you to know when it comes to business is this, and you might want to take note of what I'm going to say right now. Businesses don't fail.
so
This is very important for you to know. Businesses don't fail. It is people that fail. And then people don't actually fail. They simply don't know enough to do well. This is so important for you to understand if you're going to really get the best out of business. So if you're going into business, this is the first thing you need to understand, that businesses don't fail. It is people that fail. And then people don't actually fail. They simply don't know enough to do well. So the reason why many of us struggle in business, the number one factor responsible for a lot of struggles in so many people's businesses, is the lack of sufficient knowledge that drives the success for that business. So if you're going to go into business, the first thing you must first, attend to is to ensure that you have equipped yourself with the necessary knowledge that makes that business you want to do to succeed. Because whatever you don't have knowledge of, you cannot excel in that area. I always teach people in some of my mentorship section that
that's
you can't do great exploits
true.
in life and in business without becoming a person of knowledge. And I see many people in our society make this mistake.
Yeah.
They go into business and they don't have adequate information, they don't have an adequate understanding of how the business works, what makes it work, and I see them most of the time failing in their business. So this is the first thing we need to attack in truth and in honesty. If you're going to go into business and get the best, you need to sit down and get this education, have the right mindset, have the right mentality, understand the right structure that makes that business grow, and then see it grow. That's the first thing I want you to understand. And the second factor you need to be very conscious of if you're going to really start a business and get the best out of it is what I call, and you might want to write this down to yourself for those of you who are listening. Um, so I always tell people that people's skill, please pay attention right now. People's skill is the number one thing you must develop and learn if you're going to succeed in business. I will take that again. People's skill is the number
Hmm.
one thing that you
Yes,
must
sir.
learn and you must develop if you're going to really succeed in business. Why do I say this? Now, in business, end to end is people. You're going to be dealing with all kinds of people. You're going to be talking about your business to people. You're going to be having conversation about your business to people. So if you don't understand people and their needs and their reactions and the way they behave, then you will struggle to actually get success in your business. So I see many people have the skills, the technical skills for the business,
You're
but
right.
because of their lack of relationship, lack of understanding these people's skill, they also end up, failing in their business endeavor. So it is very important for you to have these things working for you. Me as a person, knowledge of as a person, as a learning academy, I didn't just get here because I learned the people's skills. I took the time to understand what people want, how they behave, what are they attracted to, what are they not attracted to. I took my time to study the market, to study the people, to study how they react to things. And based on my research and my feedback, that's what informed how I approach people. And with that knowledge, I'm able to get a lot of commitment into what I do. And many of us, this is where we struggle in business. So these are the two things I want people to really get to understand before they go into business. So you must first and foremost sit down, get the knowledge about what will make your business work, which is very important. And then secondly, study people and understand how they work, learn how to work with them, study their mindsets, and structure yourself in a way that would always help you be on the best side of them. And once you're always on the best side of their side, trust me,
You're right.
they will always want to listen to what it is that you do. And that's where attraction comes in, and that's where profit comes into as well in business. So, yeah, these are the two major things. I think I've said enough already. Thank you. Over to you right now, Mr. Wisdom.
Wow. 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 So you've heard from him. People's skill is actually important. Like when he was saying this, like I was like, you actually hitting the nail on on its head, because people skill is actually important. If you actually want to grow your business, you need to understand the people you want to sell to. I really love that. Thank you so much, sir. And something came up when you were talking. I got to discover that most times the reason why people don't actually make or get to attract their customers as a result of not being able to manage their customer. There are sometimes you see people, just like for a real estate firm, when you sell to a particular client and that client end up buying your product, you forget the client and try to build a new client, which is not supposed to be so. you know
Yeah,
if you want to make more
yeah,
sell your more productive sales come from the first client that actually patronize your business, because you already build a trust there, right? So ability to manage people is important. Like if you want to go find your business, learn to manage people, right? Learn to manage
yeah.
people, learn to build
Very true.
trust, right? Build trust in your business so that people will be able to know no, when you have to push your product outside, they can vouch for you. "Oh, this guy's product is okay." I mean, what
Yeah,
I'm actually sincere. I can tell because I've patronized him, right? So that is it. So there's a question I would love to ask you. What are the things one need to have before going into business? This business of a thing. You've already defined what business is to us, and you've given us factors we need to consider, right? And before we go into this business of a thing we're talking about, what are the necessary things we need before we go into business? I think there's a special thing, right, that we need aside business plan, right, that we need before we can actually go into business, as we always call it, business. So please, can you just help us there?
okay. Thank you so very much, Mr. Wisdom. Okay, so when it comes to this question, this is a very sensitive question when it comes to business. And for many of us, when this question is being thrown at us, the first thing we think that we should have if we want to go into business is money, right? That's the normal understanding that people have in our current generation. That if you want to go into business, you must have money, right? But let me just shock you right now. Money is not the number one thing that you should have if you want to start a business. In fact, money is the last thing
Hmm,
that you need if you're going to start a business. Yeah, you
that's
had
true.
me right.
Hmm.
And I'm going to talk about
But
that.
hold
When
on,
I'm done,
hold
you're going
on.
to
I want to say something. Okay, you said money is the last thing. Jesus, you said money is
yeah,
the last thing. Why do you say? Why do you make
exactly.
this? Why do you make this statement? Why this statement?
So, like I told you, money is the last
Maybe
thing that you need to have
you have
if
an
you want to
experience
start a
in that.
business. Okay, cool. So I will tell you for a fact because I'm talking practical right now. Knowledge of that I started, I literally started it with zero funds. My knowledge of academy I'm running right now, I literally started it with zero funds in my account.
Oh,
And today, by the special grace of God, our trainings have impacted over
mm,
people from 15 different African countries, hundreds of people cut across Africa, and these things started without money. So you see that impression that people always give that you need to have money for you to start a business. That's totally lie. In fact, the reason why many businesses fail is because they have money. And if you have money and you don't have these three essential things I'm going to list out to you right now, then even though you have money, that business will still fail. Now, let me just tell you the honest truth. This is a secret. The three vital things that you need to have that will make your business work and stand the test of time for years to come. You want to take note of these three things right now. Three things that you need to
mm,
have before you start talking about money. If your business is going to stand the test of time, one is ideas, two, plans, and then
I
three,
guess.
inventory. These are the three
Mm,
basic things that you must have before you start a business. And I always advise people if you don't have these three things, don't start a business. If you do, then you might not get enough financial result and success in that business. I'll repeat again. The three vital things you must have before you start a business is not money. We see that in those three things, I didn't say money. The
Okay.
first thing is ideas.
Yeah.
Ideas. The second thing you need to have is plans,
The
strategies. And then the last thing you need to
plan.
do is to have an inventory. These are the three things that make business work. And let me just talk a bit about these three things, and then you will now understand why I say this is why a lot of businesses don't grow. Now, the first thing you need to consider if you want to go into business is, or you need to have before you start a business, is ideas. Now, ideas are simply the result of your thinking. So you need to sit down and you need to ask yourself, what is the problem my business will be solving? What is the competitive advantage it's going to have in the marketplace? How valuable will my business be? This is the first thing you must sit down and really come up with if you're going to succeed in your business. Because many of us, we don't sit down and think of what your business is coming to do, where it's coming to do, where it's coming to, and the impact it's going to have in a certain, within a certain place or within a certain group of people. So this is what you need to understand. So the first thing you need to understand is that you need to sit down and have that idea, have that vision for what it is your business is coming to do. So you must ask yourself, what is the problem my business is coming to solve? What is the competitive advantage? Why would people come and patronize me? What do I have that is different from every other person? And then the last thing is, how valuable will my business be? This is the first thing you must sit down and have. Because if you don't have this ideology, if you don't have this vision for your business, then trust me, there's just so little that that person can accomplish in their business. So I always tell people, vision vision is what drives, the heart of a business, literally. So if you don't have a vision for your business, if you don't know what your business is going to do in the marketplace, then trust me, you're going to be overwhelmed and you might not get much results. See, that's the first thing. So you need to sit down and have that idea. You need to know what your business is coming to do. You need to know the problem it's coming to solve, and you need to know how valuable it can be in the lives of people. Secondly is plans. Plans is very important. Now, plans are just like strategies that you need to implement. Like there are strategies that you need to implement every step along the way. So it's very important for you to have
Mm.
a plan and a strategy for your business. What business am I coming to do? What what are the structures I'm going to put in place? What are the things I need to do in the first month, the first year, the next 5 years? You need to have all of these things well figured out. Because I think it's Proverbs 4 verse 26 that says that plan carefully what you do, and in whatever you do, it will turn out right. So for many of us, because we don't have adequate plans for our business, we don't have strategies on how we can operate our businesses, we end up not getting the right result in our businesses. And like the scripture literally said, whatever you don't plan, like what's the adage you use right now? So when you fail to plan, you're literally planning to fail. It's as simple as that. So for me as a person, I sat down, I have a plan of what I want knowledge of to be for the first year, the second year. This is all like the third year we're operating right now. And this year, I'm going to be doing a lot of programs virtually, not virtually, globally too as well. I have a lot of calls I already have on ground already. So these visions, these ideas, it has been part of the plan 3 years before now. So if you don't have a plan for your business, what is the thing your business is going to do this month? What's the plan for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, for the next one year? You need to sit down and plan this thing out, because these are the things that will help you sustain the growth of your business and not the money. You see, this is very important. Not the money. The money will not help you plan. The money will only supplement what you already have on ground. I hope someone
Mm.
is understanding me right now. And then finally is inventory. So inventory is simply, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay, cool. And then the last one is the
Right
inventory.
on,
So
sir. I
inventory is
can.
simply, yeah. So inventory is simply making a list of everything that you need in terms of resources that you have that can help you accomplish your plans that you've made out already. So you see, so inventory is now like, so inventory is like the next step after your plans. So when you make a plan of what you're going to do, the things you're going to need for your business, now the next thing you have to do is that make an inventory list. So the inventory is more like checking out the things that you need that you already have. So in terms of material wise, relationship, financial resources, you need to check, and it will shock you that many of the things you need to start a business, you already have them. If you do these things, it will shock you. Because we're talking about small
Mm,
business strategies, we're talking about maximizing impact on limited budgets. It will shock you that the things you need,
yeah.
you already have them for your business. If you do these three things I tell you to do. For me as a person, when I sat down and I created the vision of what I wanted Knowledge Hub to be, I wanted Knowledge Hub to come into the marketplace to provide quality education and quality knowledge that can bring impact in the lives of people. That was one. And I have to segregate myself. What will make me different? I said I was going to talk about financial education because that's what is lacking in our society. That's the problem we are coming to solve. This is the difference right now. So I looked at
Mm,
it. I was like, okay, financial education is one thing that a lot of people are struggling with, even in globally, Africa as a whole and the rest of them. I said that's going to be my focus, and I specialize in financial education. So that's what is making me different. So, and then in terms of how valuable will I be, I ensure I came up with content that can really help people grow and become a better version of themselves financially. Then the next thing I did was to now align a plan. How can I implement these practices? And I sat down. I came up with the courses, I came up with the modules, I came up with the plans and ideas and the rest of them. I strategized who I'm going to meet, the kind of people I'm going to meet, who are my target audience, what are the things they will need. All these things were this a result of my plans. And then finally, I make a list based on what I'm going to do. What do I have right now in terms of the resources to help me start? And then I listed out everything I needed. And it shocked me that mostly 70% to 60% of what I needed, I already have them already. Like in terms of resources, I already have them with me. I have the people, I have the relationship, I have the material, resources I have. So it was more like finance was just like the few things I needed to do to make it work. And when I have these three things, I knew I was in for business. It didn't take me. I think I was having a
mm,
conversation with a client, and I was telling them about my project, about the financial literacy training program that I do, and how it has impacted over 200 people from 15 different African countries within 1 year and 6 months. And the person was literally shocked. How were you able to do this in just 1 year and 6 months? And you're able to reach out to 15 people, 15 different African countries. How do you do that? It's the result of planning. So when you have these plans, it helps you to attract speed in your business. So what it will take other people 10 years to achieve, because you've outlined all of these things, you have the structures down. It's gonna help you get it there within a short period of time. So me, this why people have been looking for international collaborations for a long period of time. It takes them years to get there. But look at me right now, within just few months and year and a year, look at how far I've reached. But because I have had a plan, I sat down, I made a plan, I had the strategy, I had my structures, I had my mode of operations, and that was what sustained my speed in terms of result and in terms of attraction. So these are the things we need to come out with. And then finally, now this is where money now comes into place. The last thing you now need is now money. So when you've come up with all of these three things, now you can now tell yourself, okay, where will money come into play? Because the idea of money is to help you to supplement a structure that is already on ground. So money will only be effective for success in business when you already have these three things. So many of us, this is what we do. We skip these three things and then we go and look for money. And we think that the money will produce the ideas. We
mm.
think that the money will produce the plan. And then we think that the money will produce the inventory. No, money will not do this. Money will only help you sustain a structure that is already on ground. So this is what you need to understand and build for your business. Those of you who are going to business, please, I beg you, if you know you don't have these three things, don't start the business. Put it as, even though you have the money, don't even start the business if you have the money. Make sure you have these three things, because if you don't have these three things, even if the money comes in, it will just be funding something that will not bring out much results. I don't have the time to start citing examples right now. Take for instance, let's look at Africa as a globe. The USAID and the United Nations, they always send money as support, as grants, to help most of our communities, and rest of them. But with all of this money that is being sent to Africa, what is the impact in terms of growth? What is the impact in terms of transformation? It's very low. I don't know if you understand. So it's still very low. So it just shows you that money is not the solution. Structures are what sustain people and businesses, not money. Money just only comes to supplement that, and then makes it, increase the interest rate and increase the performance of the rest of them. But if you don't have the structure on ground, even if the money comes in, there's still 90% chance that the business will not still grow. So these are the things I want you to understand before you start a business. And those who have started a business and you don't have these three things, please go back to your drawing board and start arranging a plan on these three things. Ask yourself, does my business, what is my business actually coming to do? What is the competitive advantage? And then how can we get the best out of what it is we do? All right. So these are the things that we need to understand for us to get the best in business. All right. So they just took my light. Let me just um, get my first light there ready. So yeah, over to you, Mr. Wisdom. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm actually provoked to speak Yoruba. Share to go by. Okay, so he made mention of three things, and it's actually important if you're actually in a business or you want to go into business. You must have an idea, you must have a plan, and you must have an inventory. They are very important. So you must have those three, three principle at hand. This I won't call it principle. I will call it key if you must succeed in business. So that is a Salvin, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with
Okay,
you.
before Salvina comes back, I'd love us to do some little exercise. I want you to stress your body. Ugh, ugh. Okay, because we about to go to another section, and I believe you are really enjoying yourself, right? Salvina, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay.
Can I
I'm trying to
proceed?
set up my. Yes, you can. You can. Just give me some few seconds. I'm trying
Okay,
to
let's
set up
try to
my
do that.
the lights. Yeah. But I think we can go ahead.
Okay,
I will on my video
okay.
now.
If there is anyone watching us, I would like you to share your idea with us. If there's any striking points that has hits you, and you want us to actually throw more light on one particular point that you feel is actually you think that is actually that needs more elaboration, or you think you, or rather if you have something you want to say, like you want to contribute, you can actually write that in the comment section so we can actually address that with you. um if you think you okay is actually back, is actually back. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sorry about
So
that. The
we're not
light
going to
just
take
went off.
much time. No problem, sir. Hope you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I can. I hope you can hear me too as well.
Yes, I can. I would love to ask you this last question before we end today's podcast on small business strategies maximizing impact on limited budgets. So we've seen so far that if you must actually maximize impact on limited budgets, you must actually apply some of the strategies that we have already listed, right? We've talked about what business is, and I believe you already have a detailed knowledge of what business is all about. We've also talked about factors to consider about business. And I believe our speaker has done justice to that. He has shared the factors you need to consider, and the I would say it's amazing to have him here because no, my God, he actually shared the wonderful factors with us, and I believe you learned something from that. And also we talked about what the one need to have before going into a business, and he had actually made mention of three things. which you need to consider. So I would like to ask him, what are the basic business principles for success in business? The basic business principle for success in business. Can you share with us the basic principle?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. The light just went off on my end. So just kind of make do with the little light I have here. All right. So I hope that will work for the small time that we have. All right. So thank you, Mr. Wisdom, for this opportunity. So some of the basic principles I need you to really have for you to get success in business. I'm just going to give you three of them. Okay. I hope you're still with me. Three basic principles that would help you. I call it laws, literally, that would help you to really attract financial success in your business. Okay. So if you're going to go into business and you want to get financial success, these are the basic principles that you must consider and the business must have for you to get enough financial results or success from the business. Now, the first principle, or I call it law, is what I call in business that will help you to attract financial success, is what I call the law of value. The law of value. This is so important for you to have as a business if you're going to really command any source of financial advancement or success in your business. Your business must have a value. Now, what is value? Because many of us we hear about value, we talk about value, but we don't really have the in-depth knowledge of what value is all about. Now, I'm just going to give it a complete definition of what value is and what it stands for. So you might want to take note of this definition. It's kind of very rare in our community. So value is simply the measure of your usefulness. All right, the problem your business is solving and the solution that it offers that is needed and then useful within the context of your civilization. This is very important for you to note. I'll take that again. So, we talked about some of the principles, and I said one of the principles that is responsible for financial success in business is the law of value. And I'm trying to give you the definition of value so you can understand the context of where I'm coming from when I talk about value. Now, value is a measure of your usefulness, the problem you solve, and the solution that you provide that are needed and useful within the context of a civilization. So, the major thing I want you to take note of here is the word needed and useful. These are the two major words you want to take out from this definition. So it's not enough for you to say you want to go into business, and it's not enough for your business to have value. The next thing you must consider about your business is this business the value that the business is going to provide? Is this something that will be useful, and is this something that will be needed within my civilization? Because for many of us, our business might have value, but if it's not needed and if it's not useful within your civilization, you still struggle. And this is why many of us we are not getting it right, or we are not seeing the right increase or advancement in our business, because the value that the business is providing is not useful and is not needed according to your recent civilization. So I give you an example. Let's take, for instance, you start a business, and you say in that business you want to teach people how to do computer appreciation. You know those things we do those days when computer was still new. They teach you how to on the keyboard, how to on the computer. Imagine you want to start a business and you say you want to teach people on how to do that. If you start up that kind of business right now, chances that you're going to fail in that business is very high. Why? Because in our current generation, the evolution of the internet and the evolution of civilization has made a lot of technology. We don't need a computer right now, obviously, right? So the phones are there, the laptops are there. So no one needs the computer right now to do anything. So if you set up an academy or you set up an institute of, you want to train people on starting up a computer, most likely that you will fail in that business. Why? Because as long as your current civilization is concerned, they've outgrown that value. So if you insist on keep doing that same thing, trust me, there's no much results or no much financial success that will come out of it. So this is what you need to consider. You need to check and ask yourself, my business that I'm doing right now and the value that is provided, does it has the opportunity and the ability to actually solve the problem within our current dispensation, within what is going on in our civilization? This is very important because it's not enough for you to have the skills. Many people say, I have passion for these things. That's good. But that passion, you need to confirm, you need to check, is this passion, is it something that people will need, and is it something that people will be useful to them? If it's not, then please find something that is useful, find something that is needed within your current civilization, and make it your passion to go into business with if you want to get success, financial success from that business. This is very important. Now, the second law is what I call the law of compensation. Now, we've talked about the first principle, which is, of course, your business having the value, and then making sure that your business not just only valuable, but that value is something that is needed and is useful within your civilization. All right. Now, the second law or the second principle I'm going to give you, if you want to really get financial success in your business, is what I call the law of compensation. The law of compensation. Now, I want you to really pay attention to what I'm going to say right now because this is very important. This is the heart of of my presentation tonight, right now. Now, the law of compensation talks about your reward as long as you doing business is concerned. So, what are the factors I need to consider that will help me have a good returns financially in my business, right? Now, I always tell people that your reward in life and in business will always be in exact proportion to three major things. Okay? Your reward in life and also as long as your business is concerned will always be in exact proportion to three major things. One, the need and the demand for what it is you do. Okay? So the need and the demand for what it is you do is very important. Two, the your ability to do what you do. That is your skills, your proficiency. And then three is the difficulty in replacing you. All right. These are the three things that would demand or that will provoke the returns of financial growth in your business. Take note of these three things because these are the things you need to know and you need to develop in your business for you to start seeing a lot of result in it. So the first factor, your reward in business, will always be in exact proportion to three major things. One, the need and the demand for what it is you do. So if people demand for what it is you do, if people need what it is you're offering, then it is likely chance that that business is going to grow. Okay. And if you check and you see that what you're offering as a business is not something people will need, it's not something people will demand from, then there's always a chance that that person will not grow or that business will not have a good impact. Now, the second one is the ability to do what you do. Very important, which is your skills, your proficiency. That will also determine the kind of results and the returns you get in your business. So the skills, your proficiency, how excellent are you in offering your service to people? This will also determine if they will come or if they will not come back for your services. So I see a lot of businesses go down because of their inability to be excellent at delivering the service and the value that they offer. So it's not enough for you to have offer. It's not enough for you to have the value and something that people need. You must also work on ensuring that you are delivering that services in a form that will make them want to come back to get more. The excellency, the skills, your proficiency in how you deliver that service will also determine, how you get returns to as well. I think I was citing an example to some business persons last year when I was having a training, and I give an example of how I was treated when I visited an hotel, and from right from the gate, right from the gate, the smile that was being, I was being welcomed with when I came into the to the hotel environment. and then right to the gates, and then to the room, the receptionist, the smile and the way they attended to me like a prince, like a king. Hi, how are you? How you know? What? Hey, hope you're coming from a very. I was like, I was literally so shocked, and the way they paid attention to everything I needed, to all what I was going through, what do you want, and they took their time to really, ask me questions about myself, about my journey. They took their time to explain everything about their services and the excellence in how they were able to dispense that, the smile they had on their faces. I, I was totally blown away. The customer service was top notch. Everything, the communication, it was just so on point. Like it was so on point. And I told myself, you know what? After this, I'm going to invite a lot of people. You don't ask me where would you like to, stay when you come to this place. I would always recommend that hotel to them for those who are in that environment. So the point I'm trying to make is that it was because of the way they treated me that really gave me the that sense of exclusivity and sense of how will I put it now, importance, that made me want to come back there next time. So anytime I'm coming back to that environment, obviously that hotel is where I'm going to go to. Why? Because of the way they treated me. So the excellence at which you give your services is also very important for the kind of reward you get in your business. And then finally, the difficulty in replacing you. The difficulty in replacing you. Let me just say this for the truth. When it comes to business, oh my God, let me just tell you something about human beings. Human beings are so wicked. I've come to realize this. Why do I say that? See, the moment they find a replacement for you, they're going to leave you overnight. Period. I will take that again. In my experience with working with people, I've realized that human beings are so wicked. Once they find a replacement, once they find someone who can do what you're doing better than you, I'm telling you, they're going to leave you overnight. So if you're going to sustain in yourself in business, then you must really, you must really develop yourself to the point where it will be so difficult for people to get what you're doing outside of you. And until you get to that level, or your business get to that level where it is only you that can offer that kind of services and they can't find it anywhere, now you're beginning to attract people's attention. Now that business is going to have a lot of strong, a lot of strong stability in terms of attracting people. But once people can do what you're doing and even do it better than you, then trust me, that business will not last, because a time will come, they will see that services better somewhere else, and then they will definitely go for that services. So these are the three things that will determine your reward and your profit, or your something in business. So take note of this and make sure that you inculcate it into your business. And then finally, I'm just going to end with this because of time. I would have loved to go into examples, but there's no time for that. So finally, I'm just going to use the last principle, which I call the law of exchange. The law of exchange. So, exchange is a very important principle that many people don't understand in business, that makes them not really get a lot of returns, or incomes or inflows into their business. Now, the law of exchange is just simply it talks about two things literally, and I always tell people that the law of exchange is what drive conversion of your business into people's attention. And I'll just say these two things. There are two ways in which you can compel people to commit to what it is you're doing. One, by letting them know that you're there, and then two, by letting them know that you're there. That's one, and then two, by asking for their support. I think these are the two major things I'm going to say right now in the law of exchange. It is at the point of exchange that your resources come to you. All right. It is at the point of exchange that your resources come to you. And like I said, one is that the two ways in which you can compel those who need you to come to you in terms of what you offer as a business and the services you provide is one. The one is what I call um, by letting them know that you're there, and then two, by asking for their support. Okay, this is very important. These are the two major things I'm going to tell you. One, asking for their support, and then two, by letting them know that you're there. So the first one is if you're going to do a business and you want people, you want attraction of people into your business, then you need to constantly talk about your business. You need to constantly inform people about what it is your business can do. You need to constantly communicate about your business. You cannot start up a business and then you just keep quiet and hope that people will just come and patronize you. No, it doesn't work that way. Every day, I'm always talking about knowledge of the people. Every day, I'm having conversation about my business with people. Every day, I'm always telling people about what it is I can do in terms of my business. So it is this kind of actions that would always attract people to what it is you do. So you cannot just set up a business and just hope and pray that people will come without you doing anything. No, no, it doesn't work that way. Okay. And then second thing is by asking them for your support. So you need to spread yourself to people. So marketing and advertising is one of those ways in which you can spread yourself to people. All right. So when you've gotten a good product, you have a good value that your business can provide, and the next thing you want to do is to now market and advertise yourself to people. And that's why you see a lot of companies, a lot of big organization and firms, they spend so much money on marketing and advertising. They understand the laws, they understand the principles. So they are always advertising their business because they know the more people get to know what they do, the more they can get attraction for their business. So these are the things you need to really, really inculcate if you really want to get massive or you want to see massive growth in your business. Okay. So I think I've said enough already for today. I'll just do a quick recap so that many of us who are just connecting can also get one or two of what we've said already. So I started today's conversation with the meaning of business, and I told you that business is anything that you do that brings money to you. And then I also gave us some key factors that we need to note if you're going to really go into business that will help you sustain it for a longer period of time. One is that businesses don't fail, it is people that fail, and then people don't actually fail, they simply don't know enough to do well. So, knowledge is the first thing you must go and get if you really want to get success in business. The second key factor I gave was that the second key factor I said during that was that people's skill is the number one thing that you must develop and have if you're going to succeed in business. So you must learn how to deal with people because everything about business end to end involves people. So if you don't know how to get along with people, you will struggle to get success in your business. Then I gave us the three things that you need to have before you start a business. The three major things you need to have before you start a business. And for those who have started a business, you don't have these three things, you need to go back and get them if you want to really get a lot of success in your business. One, ideas. Two, plans, your strategy. And then three, of course, your inventory. And then finally, I gave you some key principles and laws that are responsible for financial success in your business or that will attract financial success in your business. One is the law of value. Your business must have value, and that value must be needed and useful if you want to get a lot of financial, attraction into your business. Then the second is the law of compensation, which is your reward. And I said your reward in life and in business will come as three things. One, the demand for what it is you do, the proficiency in which you do your thing, and then of course the difficulty replacing you. And then last is the law of exchange. And I said two things you need to do that will compel people to come to you in your business is one, by letting them know that you are there, and then two, by asking for their support. So if you do all of these things I tell you to do, I give you a guarantee you will start seeing a lot of massive changes in your business. And for those of you who have limited budget, like I said, you don't need to start big. Okay, you can have these things, and if you don't have the finances to go big, start small, and then think bigger. Many of us, the reason why we fail not to start a business, we are looking at we don't have enough money, we don't have enough. That's not true. I started Knowledge Job by coaching one person. And then for one person, I started talking to two persons. From two persons, I started talking to four persons, five persons, and that's how we began to grow. So if I waited until when I have the resources and I have everything, I wouldn't have gotten here this fast. So start from where you are and start building. And then as you keep building, you keep expanding. Don't wait until all the resources are available before you start doing things. Make your plans, have the ideas, come up with the inventory, and then start doing the work. Start doing the work, wherever it is that you have, and then just keep maintaining that momentum, keep maintaining that discipline. And if you keep on doing all those things, you're consistent, you're disciplined, you're always doing all the things that are needed to do. Trust me, the result will always come out in time. All right. So thank you once again, Mr. Wisdom, for this opportunity. I hope this must have blessed one or two persons already. And yeah, I think I'll stop here for now. So thank you so very much because of time. So, Mr. Wisdom, over to you right now.
Thank you so much, Sir Innocent Obina. Thank you so much for the value shared. I believe we gain a lot from your section, and we are grateful that you were able to accept our invitation to come speak to us on this particular topic. As for me, I'm actually like I'm inspired and open to knowing more about what to do in my small business. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Please, friends and family, I love you to like and share this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We come to the end of the balance podcast. So much for engaging. God bless you. Have a good night, great night rest. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you. Good night,
Okay,
Salpina.
bye. Good night as well. God bless you too as well.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.